Okay, Cal, you about ready? Hey guys, we're getting ready for yoga. Hi everybody. It's me, Cal and Sadie today. I'm gonna be going through some yoga. Also have the crystal bowls set up. So the crystal bowls, we call that a sound bath, and Cal is gonna play those for meditation today when we get done. All right, so first what we're going to do is just come on to your knees. We're going to find a child's pose. So Cal, you want to face this way? Face this way. All right, so your knees are going to be wide and your big toes touch. So come into a child's pose like this. So knees are wide, big toes touch, and sit back like this. Yeah, and just let your forehead go down to the mat. Good job. All right, and just taking a big breath in through your nose. Then open your mouth inside out, let it all go. Big full breath in. And then open your mouth inside out, let it go. Good job. Big full breath in, keep holding on right there, and then let it all go. One more big full breath. And release it all out. Good job. Now we're going to slowly come into cat-cow. So inhale cow and exhale cat. So in this tabletop position, you're just rotating the spine in and out. Put your hands right underneath your shoulders. Right underneath your shoulders. Good. Now, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my watch on. I forgot about timing this. So inhale, cow, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, lift your chin, and then exhale, cat pose. Tuck your tailbone under, chin to chest. Good job. Inhale, cow, and exhale, cat. We should have brushed your hair this morning. Inhale, cow. Well, not so hard. And exhale, cat, drawing up. Nice. Now, we want to make sure you're connecting your yoga breath. So full breath in the nose and full breath out. And I just want you to go back and forth, Cal. Try not to collapse in your shoulders, back and forth. So this is an exhale and this is an inhale. Don't do your elbows. Keep your arms straight. Okay? Good job. All right, now just come to a neutral spine.
What?
This is just a neutral spine. So it's just a flat back. Now we're going to come into downward facing dog. So tuck your toes under and lift your hips up and back. Nice. Spread your fingers wide. And open up your hands just a little bit more. So a little bit wider.
I can't. Why so low?
No, like there. Okay?
Ew.
Yeah, and then rotate your index fingers. You want to make sure that the index finger is pointed towards the front of the mat. So it's a little rotation. So it's almost like you're opening a jar. You take your hand and you just kind of spin it a little bit. So then the index finger is pointed straight up the mat. Okay, lift your hips. Nice. Now come into a plank pose. So come right into plank. But no, you want to lift your hips. Yeah, right here. Nice. Now, right here is plank. Now pull up right between your shoulder blades. Push into my hand. Yes, this is a perfect plank pose. Takes a lot of energy, right? How hard is that?
Hard.
Woo, I feel your core fired up. All right, now downward facing dog. Lift your hips and press it back. Isn't that challenging? Good job. All right, now walk all the way to your hands.
Oh, what?
Walk your feet to your hands. Both feet to your hands. Okay. And then we're going to forward fold. So see if you can heel toe your feet together. So your feet are going to come together like that. Just like this.
Oh.
Yeah. Now you want to slightly bend your knees. Okay. And you want to hinge in your hips. And you just want to hang your head towards the ground. Good job. I'm wearing glasses today to see how difficult it is to wear glasses and do yoga. Because that's what Cal has to do all the time. So, so forward fold, you want to make sure that you're hinging in your hip and you're not hinging in the lower back, because that can really stress the lower back. So you want to bend the knees slightly, bringing your belly onto your thighs, and just release the back of your neck. Now inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins. for a nice flat back. So flatten your back, just flatten. Flat back. So you're still rounding. See if you can pull up through your shoulders, flat back. All right, and forward fold. And then slowly roll all the way up, standing. Can you be serious? Now, reach your fingers up towards the sky. Big stretch. Nice. Let's face the camera. So this is extended mountain pose. And then slowly just bring your hands heart center. Good job. Inhale, reach it up, big stretch. And then exhale, forward fold. Good job. Now we're going to come into a chair pose.
Oh,
So chair, it's literally like you're sitting in a chair. So you're going to bend the knees, lift your chest. So the way Kel is doing it, you don't want to do. Because he's bending his knees forward like this, and that's just going to hurt the knees. So you're going to pull the knees back, and it's really like you're sitting back in a chair. So let's bring your feet a little bit, let's turn to the side. So bring your feet a little bit closer together. Good. All right, now act like you're about to sit on my knee. No, you gotta sit back on my knee.
I don't remember where it's at.
It's right behind you, so just keep moving back. Yes! So see how that feels?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now see if you can support yourself in the same position. Ha! Can you bring your hands heart center? Give you a little support. Good, good. Push your booty out a little bit. But bend your knees, lift your chest. Lift your chest. So lift up, look up. But sit back like you're gonna sit on my knees. Pull the knees back. Good job. How challenging is that?
It's hard. Let go and see if I can do it.
That's chair pose. So we're going to go through some of the poses that are in your calendar for the PE part. So how was chair? Challenging, right? Okay, so come back to your mountain pose. Let's come back to mountain. All right, now we're going to go back. Last Tuesday we learned how to warm the body for a sun salutation. And we're going to add this chair pose in it. So come to the top of your mat. Inhale your arms up overhead, big stretch. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back with your right foot into a low lunge. Come down on the knee and sweep your arms up overhead, big stretch. Exhale down to the mat. Now you're going to step back into a tabletop. Tuck your toes under, down dog. Nice. Now inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. So reach your right leg up to three-legged dog. Step through to your hands. Come down on your left knee and sweep your arms up overhead. Big stretch. Good job. Good. Bring the hands down. Tuck your back toe under. Now step your left foot to your right. Good job. Chair pose. Find that chair pose. No. Pull your knees back and sit. You gotta sit. Good job. Now mountain pose. Stretch up. Big stretch. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back with your left foot, low lunge. Step back, bring your left knee down and sweep your arms up overhead. Big stretch. Come forward in your knee. Good job. That's a good one, but not too much. You want to pull your right hip back, left hip forward. Good job. Now, bring your hands down to the mat. Now, you're going to step back into that tabletop. So just step back into your tabletop. Tuck your toes under, down dog. Now, inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. Left, nope, that's your right.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta lift your left. Good job. Now, step through to your hands. Come down on your right knee and sweep your arms up overhead. Big stretch. Good job. Pull your left hip back. Wait, what? So just the hip, not the knee. So you're just here like that. See? Yeah. Good job. Now bring the hands down. Tuck your back toe under, lifting the knee up, and step your right foot to the left and come right into your chair pose. Chair. So see how close my feet are together? Good. And I'm pulling my knees back. This can be really challenging, just a chair pose. So you're pulling your knees back, lift your chest, and hands can be heart center. Breathe. Good job. And then slowly stand. Now, we learned, what are some of the standing poses that we learned last week too?
Warrior 3.
We learned tree, warrior 3,
Yep.
and eagle.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go through those really quickly. So tree pose, let's root down through your right foot. And you're just going to bring your left foot into your calf. Can you scoot over just a tiny bit? Yeah. So when you're here, left foot's going to come into the calf. Or you can bring it all the way up into the inner thigh. But root down, root your tree down. Spread the toes on your right foot. And I have to look down a lot to get my balance. It can be really challenging. You just don't want to be in the knee area. So it's either above or below the knee. Good job. Tree. You can even bring your arms up overhead. Good job. Now we're going to go into Warrior 3, or we also call it airplane. So just tabletop your leg. You could bring your hands heart center, or you could reach your arms back. You're going to press through the left ball of your foot, spread your toes. Warrior 3. You want to lift the chest. You want to make sure your hips stay neutral. Trying to really hold your balance. Counts all over the place. See if you can really stabilize and hold. Don't hit the poles. Now we're going to come into our eagle. So your left leg is going to come over the right. Your left arm is going to sweep underneath your right and bringing your palms together for eagle. You can balance on this left, taking the left big toe up, or keep it balanced down. And just breathe in and out of your nose. And release. All right, let's come on to the other side, okay? You ready? All right, so we're gonna find tree pose and now on your left leg. So root down, spread the toes. You're gonna bring your right foot to your calf or inner thigh. You just wanna make sure that you're not in the knee area. Try to look down, finding your balance. I'm kind of all over the place now. You can bring your hands heart center. You can bring them overhead. You can even have limbs. Trying to breathe and just holding on. Now we're going to find our warrior 3. So you're going to bring your arms down by your side, tabletop your leg, press through the ball of your foot, press straight behind you, lift your chest, keep your hips level. Breathe in and out of your nose. And then we're going to find our eagle pose. So in eagle, your right leg's going to come over your left. And it's kind of like you're sitting in that chair. So you're going to bend the knee. Then you're going to sweep your right arm underneath the left, finding your eagle. Elbows are high. You could float the right foot if you wanted. It's like you're setting back in that chair. And slowly release. Good job. 5. You did good. It's hard, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look very challenging, but it can be. So another pose that's in your curriculum, it's got it on April the 3rd. And on here, it's got crane pose. Crane pose is a very challenging pose. So we really want to find crow, not crane. So for kids, crow pose can be very challenging, but at the same time, you should be able to do it pretty well. So for crow, I'm going to demo first. So your big toes come together. Your hands are just like in that plank that we showed earlier in downward facing dog. You bend your elbows slightly back towards the back of your mat. Then you open up your knees and bring your knees into the triceps. You want to look past your fingertips and you're going to move forward. Then you can pick up one toe and then maybe pick up the other and set it down. All right, do you want to try? And you also want to think about that cat pose when you're doing this. So just bring your hands like you would in down dog. Now come onto your toes. So lift up off your knees and walk it in. Okay. Now, because you want to be pretty close. Okay, now you're going to bend your elbows. So bend your elbows to the back of your mat, this direction. Not your hands. Hands stay forward. Just bend your elbows back. Yeah. Now take your knees. So you have to really walk forward because your knees have to come into your tricep. So walk it forward until you can open up your knees and bring it into your tricep. Like that. Yeah. Open up your knees. Now take that knee over to that tricep. Okay. Then you're going to balance your knees on your elbows. Good job. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
It's very challenging. So what's illustrated in your calendar is crane, and that's with the straight arm. That's very, very challenging. But for children, the bent elbow is much easier. And try one more time. Okay, so bring your hands down. Bring your big toes to touch. Big toes touch. Now open up your knees so your knees go into your triceps. Look past your fingertips. So here's your triceps right back here, not your armpit. See, right here, that's where you want your knee to go. Okay, now look past your fingers. Hands have to be in alignment. And then you want to lean forward, holding yourself. Good job. I'll demo one more time. So when you're here, big toes come together. Hands are on each side of your mat. You want to bend your elbows back, bring your knees into the triceps, look forward, pull through your core, lifting your heels up. Okay? Good job. Good job. The next pose, there's another pose in here. It's called Garland Pose. We also call that Malasana. Hey, I have that right. Where are you? Okay. So, we've already looked at chair pose. Chair pose is in here also. Malasana is just sitting with your feet kind of rotated out, elbows in the center of your knees. You want to come and sit in Malasana with me? Good job. This is kind of a resting pose, but it can be challenging if you have tight shins. So this really helps to stretch the shins. Good job. Now, one of the other poses that I noticed in there, it's called, I think the Teacup, it says Teacup Teal. So a Teacup Teal is almost really like standing on your head. So I don't know if it's a great thing to do, as long as you feel pretty good about stabilizing the neck. So always have a parent helping with this. So what you're going to do for a Teacup Teal is you kind of just like in that Garland pose. So that's why we are learning Garland. You move right there. Now, when you're here, you just bring your forehead down. I need Penny to maybe move this direction. Okay. So when you're here, you're just going to bring the head down, and then you just bring your knees to your elbows. So this is a tee-up. And then you can come right back into that Garland pose. Here. So for that little tee-up, bring the forehead down, and then knees to elbows. And maybe sit it right back down. Good job. Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay. So come here. Okay. So you're just going to bring your head down, not your hands back. So your hands are back here. Okay. Now your head's going to go right there. Okay. Now you're just going to try and bring your knees to your elbows. So come to your feet, and then bring your knees to your elbows, and you're gonna try to bring your heels balancing on your head. Heels to your bottom. Yeah, good job. That was good. That was really good. Where, did it hurt your head? So my head's pretty used to getting upside down, so you have to make sure that you really stabilize your neck. So those can be challenging for little kids. I was surprised to see it on the calendar, but it is something that is accessible. You just want to make sure that there's no pressure in the neck. So you're really pushing through those hands really hard, and you're also drawing the core in. You want to try one more time? So I'll demo it one more time. So if you're in Garland Pose, bring the hands down. Then you're going to bring your forehead down to the mat, and then come to the top of the head, and then knees to elbows. Now, if you wanted to, if you felt pretty stable here, you could squeeze your knees to your chest, and then maybe lift up from that teacup tilt, okay? So ideally, you could come all the way up, or just hold it here, and then sit back down into your garland. Good job. Cal has a stuffy nose, so he had to run and get a tissue. So the next pose that I was looking at on here is fish pose. Fish pose is really great because it's a little bit of a back bend without coming all the way up into a back bend. Will you close those doors a little bit for a moment, please? They all stop, okay? Thank you. Now, when you're here for fish, you're on your back and you bring your wrist underneath your hips and you walk the elbows in, straighten the legs, and then the head comes down to the mat. This is fish pose. Do you want to try fish pose?
Sure.
Stop. Okay, so lay all the way down. Now, yes. My dogs. All right, now just straighten out your legs, and you're going to lift your upper back. And you want to try to come to the top of your head.
What?
Yeah, it's very challenging. All right, girls. Stop. Can you come up and can you walk your elbows in? Yeah, that's better. Yes, that's good. Good job. You feel that little back bend?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's try to make it all the way up into a back bend. So bend your knees, and we're just going to do a bridge up. Okay, so just a bridge up. So a bridge up, you want your knees at 90 degrees. So when you're here, yeah, and you're just going to lift your hips up off the mat with your arms by your side. Just bring your arms down straight. Yeah. Now you want to try to lift up as much as you can. Good job. Really good. Yeah. And you want to make sure you keep these 90-degree angle knees. That's it. How's that feel?
Hard. In the back.
That's very hard?
In the back.
Yes. Good job. Stop messing with your teeth. All right, now, do you want to try to do a full wheel pose?
I don't know if I can do
So
that.
for a full wheel, your hands would just go on each side of your head, and you could just come to the top of your head. You don't have to come all the way up. You could just come to the top of your head.
Oh,
Huh?
my hair.
Oh, you got your hair? Yeah. So, yeah, that was good. Do you want me to show? Demo? Your hands are a little close to your head, so you want to kind of open up a little bit, okay? So, ideally, when you're doing that, and I don't have a great wheel pose, but I've worked at it. So when you're here, your hands are on each side of your head. You don't want to be too close, and just make sure you're not on your hair. No, I can't have Scout in here too. Will you help me with them and get them out there? Now, when you're pressing through your feet, you're going to lift up, push, and then set it back down for wheel pose. All right, come here, Kel. Let's try one more time.
Wait.
Okay. My dogs can open my doors. All right, let's try one more time.
Wait.
So bring your hands on each side of your head, and then you're gonna lift it up. So straighten your arms, try to push the ground away. Good job. That's something to work on this week. And you have to make sure you get those bridge ups, you get the back open. Another great way to kind of bring the back, kind of back out, is we're gonna come into a scorpion. So let's lay on your belly. Okay, I'm gonna come here beside me. So lay on your belly, you're pressing through your forearms, lifting your upper back. Yeah, this is a great back bend. So one thing that you wanna make sure to do when you're in this is the heels come up. That firms the glutes and protects the lower back. So you can bring your elbows in a little bit more, tuck your chin slightly. So you're just tucking and lifting through the upper back. Yes, that's so good. But the feet are flat. Yeah, his feet are flat. Now, if you want to take this one step further, you could find a seal pose. Seal is where you just lift your elbows up off the mat. Nope, just your elbows. Isn't that challenging?
Mm-hmm.
But this helps find those back bends a little bit more. Good job. That was awesome. All right, so now we're gonna take, you're gonna try to take everything and put it into one big session.
Oh.
I think we can do it.
Oh.
All right, let's come standing. Come all the way standing. All right, let's sweep your arms up overhead, big stretch. And forward fold. Now let's come right into your chair pose, right into chair. Set it back. Chair pose. And forward fold. Halfway lift. Now step back with your right foot, come down on your right knee and sweep your arms up overhead, big stretch. Good job. Bring your hands down. Step back to a tabletop. Tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Take your right leg up and step through. Come down on your left knee and sweep your arms up overhead. Good. Bring the hands down. Step your left foot to the right and halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, fingers to the sky. Sweep it all the way up. Yes. And come into your chair pose. Chair. Good. And forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back with your left foot. Low lunge. So your left. Good job. Sweep it up. Good. Bring it down. Step back to a tabletop. Tuck your toes under. Down dog. Lift your left leg up. Left leg. Step through. Come down on your right knee. Arms up overhead. Good job. Bring the hands down. Step your right foot to the left and halfway lift. And come right to chair again. Right into chair. Good job though. That's really good. Now from chair, we're going to see if we can go right into our crow pose, okay? So we're going to come into that chair, bring your hands down, knees into your triceps, lean forward, and crow pose. Then maybe find your malasana, or garland pose. Nice. Bring your hands down, lift your hips, heel toe it in, and then slowly roll all the way up. Good. Let's find our tree pose. Come onto your right foot for tree. So you're on your left. Can you come onto your right foot? Woo! Now we're going to find warrior three. So tabletop your leg. Push the foot behind you. We also call this air play. It's like you're flying through the air. Then eagle. Left leg's going to come up over the right. Left arm comes under the right for eagle. Nice. Tree on the left. Look down, find your balance. Right leg comes into the thigh, holding on for tree. Now tabletop the leg, soar through the air, airplane pose, or warrior three. And eagle, right leg's gonna come over the left, right arm comes under the left. Eagle pose, setting it back. and release. All right, let's try our little teacup teal. So you want to try?
No.
So let's come into that malasana. Then the hands come down. You want to get on this side of me? And then remember, when you're doing that, you bring your forehead or your crown of your head down, knees come to your elbows. Then, if you think you can squeeze all the way up, you can try to take it up or just hold that teacup tilt. And then set it back down. Garland Pose. That could have been really bad, honey. All right. Good job. Now, everyone's going to come into Shavasana. So Shavasana is just kind of like what we did for that fish pose. But instead, you're just going to lay flat on your mat. Okay? Now, Kale is going to come over and play the singing bowls. So, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which ones? Exactly.
I want you to start. Whatever you want to play. Don't hit. Enjoyed their sound bath that Cal did today. You did really good. Give me a high five. I hope you guys enjoyed just kind of relaxing, feeling the sound bath. It's a different sound than that you normally hear. So I hope that everyone really enjoyed it, and we will see you next Tuesday. We'll go over the same things that we learned today. So hope to see you then. Thank you. Say thank you. Say namaste.
Namaste.